Welcome, all you Essenes, and welcome, all you Magdalenes, and welcome, all you children of the sun. We are the keepers of the Grail, and together we are the Holy Grail. Now let's bring in these physical beings here today, see who's here. Let's welcome Karen Grace of There and Back. Good to have you with us. Welcome, Jan Dieter of the Eshtar Command. Welcome, Suzanne of Ontario. And welcome, Aloha Bonnie of Cottonwood. And Jimmy, are we still of the Guardian of the Veil or are we changed?
We're going to hold off on that for just a little bit until I get a little more secure with myself.
Okay, we'll go back
I,
to we'll go back to
I just want to let
Minneapolis.
you. I talked with Maggie just a little bit ago, and she's trying to get here. She's going to her physical therapy early. So
Okay,
she wanted that message delivered. She's doing everything she can. I'm just staying
okay.
Jimmy for right now. Thank you, Thomas. Great
All
question.
right. Welcome, Jimmy of Minneapolis until the name changes takes place. Cool. So glad to have you here, brother. Welcome, Catherine Ann of the Universe of Wholeness. Welcome, Heather of Litchfield. And welcome, Allah of Cornville. And I am Thomas of Everywhere and Nowhere. And here we go. We're going to look to Catherine Ann to give us an attunement to get started with.
The center in your heart, in the portal that's your heart, and ask for the Essene Merkaba to be present around the group and around you individually. Inviting in all of the characters, Anna, the councils of light, all the angels, archangels, and unseen beings that work with us on a daily basis, particularly as we are reading these books. And ask Yeshua to be your guide and any others that have a mission with you individually. Give permission for them to be prominently integrating with the information and your own fields and your own DNA. Inviting them to help you, guide you, and to inspire you. Sending gratitude, so be it.
Thank you, Catherine Ann. Inspired by our guide, Anna, today. Yeah, so I'm traveling. I'm in Cortez, Colorado, at a public library in their study room. So, oh, looks like we have Pauline come in. Welcome, Pauline of Canada. Yay. Yeah. Yeah, Heather has something.
I just wanted to share something that happened today. We've got a lot of drama going on in our family. My daughter-in-law had a stroke, and I have talking.
Yeah, take your time. Yeah.
And I have a lot of other things going on. You know, it's not bad stuff, but a lot of stuff happening. So I was really stressed today, and I sat down and had Rick. Rick has a healing bowl, and he did that for me. And as I'm sitting there, I get the message I get is, if we are aspects of God, God is not tired. So I just said, oh, I'm an infinite being and I'm not tired. So
Yeah.
it helped a lot.
Nice. Oh, thank you for sharing that. Maybe we can just sit with you just for a minute, just bring it in the kind of like the peace and the calmness and the certainty of being an aspect of God. Let's just all hold that for just 1 minute. Hmm. Yeah. Wow. As an aspect of God, nothing can affect my true identity. So yeah, we just bring ourselves back to there over and over. Yeah. Thank you,
Who
Heather.
we really are.
Yeah, that can't be affected.
Yeah.
But it means we have to get there, though. We have to keep reminding ourselves who we truly are. Yeah. Well, thank you for bringing that forward. That's a good way to start. Yeah. Okay, Jan.
Uh, Heather, I just wanted to tell you that yesterday I just happened, and I don't know where I saw this, to see a message that said God does not get tired. And I just love it when things like that. And today I was very strongly guided to wear my jewelry from Clark's Jewelry. Remember?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So it's sending energy out to everyone. So, but I thought,
Nice.
wow, when you said that,
Yeah. Because I
Yeah.
was so exhausted, just like, oh my God. And I couldn't think. And then,
Yeah.
oh, don't forget who you are.
Yeah.
exactly.
That's what it's there for, right? And today, we're going to study about initiations. And it's as simple as having triggers come our way so that we can be reminded to who we are. We have to go there, actually. And so it forces us to go there. That's one form of initiation. We're gonna read about that today. Yeah, in fact, if there isn't any other comments, we're going to go ahead and it's chapter 36, bottom of page 228 in this book. And if somebody wants to share a page number of the old version, that might be helpful.
273.
273.
And by the way, I have to leave at 1. I have to go do something at 1. So
Okay.
just let you know.
Good. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this chapter is called The Message of Hope. How about that for a chapter title? Okay. If there isn't any other, let's make sure you're there. If you're not there, raise your hand. We got plenty of time to get everybody there. Okay. I'm on Kindle. So, okay. So where we left off. Uh-oh. Okay. So we left off on a paragraph that starts off as you read, but we're going to go one paragraph back. And the paragraph starts off, your initiatory experiences. And so that's like a little way of getting us with some context, because we're going to go into these 5 points, these 5 aspects of initiation. So that'll be fun. Okay, everybody find the right paragraph? Everybody's good? Okay. All right then. Well, starting at, let's welcome Christy of Mount Carmel here with us. And also Ian. Welcome, Ian, to our group. Okay. Top of my screen is Karen Grace. If you don't mind, Karen, why don't you go ahead and give us all the way up to the first aspect, then we'll pause.
Thank you, Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Your initiatory experiences will most likely be different from Yeshua's, such as being nailed to a cross, but in essence, they are similar. Before we explore this further, let me offer a fuller explanation of what I mean by initiation. An initiation is that inner directed experience that takes you over the threshold of irreversible change. In the initiations of resurrection and ascension, Your former limited identity transforms into a more expansive awareness of inherent potential. This is illustrated in the transformational initiatory process demonstrated by the butterfly that emerges into a new life resurrected from its crucified caterpillar life. As you read the following 5 aspects of initiation that could be affecting your own life, please ask yourself which ones seem to have a personal meaning for you today.
Okay, let's pause there and go back and look at that. Let's look at that definition of initiation. Karen, if you don't mind rereading, it says that initiation is that inner directed. Can you read
Yes.
that? Maybe those 2 sentences in a row. Or actually, take it to the end again. That's going to be a good definition for us to concentrate on.
Okay, thank you. An initiation is that inner directed experience that takes you over the threshold of irreversible change. In the initiations of resurrection and ascension, your former limited identity transforms into a more expansive awareness of inherent potential. This is illustrated in the transformational initiatory process demonstrated by the butterfly that emerges into a new life resurrected from its crucified caterpillar life.
Yeah, let's pause there. Any comments on that? That definition's so clear. Yeah, it says initiation is that inner directed experience, right? So we have to pause and go inward. As the outward is raging, we pause and go inward for the directed experience. Yeah, Heather.
I just really totally agree with that particular sentence is really, really good to help you understand. That's what initiation is.
Nice.
When we read it last week, that's really good.
Yeah, really clear, isn't it? And it takes you over the threshold of irreversible change. Isn't that interesting? The word initiation takes you to a new area that you might, as humans, we like to resist, new stuff. Well, this is what it does, though. It takes us into over the threshold of irreversible change. Yeah. So I can imagine there could be some resistance there. But this is why Anna's teaching us about initiation, so we can receive it, right, and accept it and move to our next level over and over constantly. Yeah. Okay, any other comments on those 2 paragraphs? All right. So it says on these 5 aspects coming up, ask yourself which ones seem to have a personal meaning for you today. So we're going to go slow and just let's go one by one and just really look at it. How can this be for me? How can this be what I'm going through? Okay. So let's start with Jan, maybe giving us just one at a time. We'll just do one and pause.
Okay. Number 1, a marked attitudinal change that brings a committed willingness to align limited consciousness with a higher will and purpose.
It's so rich, Jan. I think we're going to have to read it again.
Okay. A marked attitudinal change that brings a committed willingness to align limited consciousness with a higher will and purpose.
Sounds like moving to a different level, right? Moving from a lower level, right? Limited consciousness, right? And moving to what's next, the higher will and purpose.
Right.
Yeah. Any other comments, Jan, or anybody?
What I'll add to that is from everything I'm reading on the 30th of June, that was the end of a huge cycle, and we're beginning a new one as of yesterday. And so I think it's really appropriate that we're reading this right now. Timing is perfect, but I love the way the universe is really good about timing.
Nice. In the beginning of that, it says a attitudinal change. That's interesting, right? We'll have a different like attitude, a different perspective, right? That's what we're looking for, to see it differently. Not to try to change the outer, right? But the shift is inside, looking at it differently. Yeah. Anybody else on number one? As we go through these five, please feel free to share any experiences that you might have had around any of these. Okay, good. Jimmy.
Thank you, Thomas. I wanted to go back just to a short part of the last sentence of the last part where it said the crucified caterpillar life. I contemplated the caterpillar life and I've been okay with it for a while because when you come out, you got to be ready to fly and fly pretty soon, just like birds do, but much quicker. And the first of the initiations here reminds me of the old statement or the old wristing that many people, churchgoers, used to wear, WWJD, what would Yeshua do? And once you equip yourself with that particular point, it keeps it pretty simple for a guy like me. And what would Yeshua do right now? He'd probably think about it quickly and already have the answer written down. So I've got to think that way. And that's a great way to start, just to change the entire look, eyes, body temperature, feel. Am I looking at this right? I love the first step. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, Jimmy. That's a great example of an attitudinal shift. When I stop and say, what would Yeshua look at this? And we go, it's already done. Yeah. Great example, Jimmy. Thank you. All right. Yeah. Resurrected from its crucified caterpillar life. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Moving away from the crucified to the resurrected. Yeah. Whew. All right. Any other comments on the first aspect? All right then. Okay, Jan, why don't you give us the second aspect, nice and slow, and just do that one.
Okay. Physical changes in which toxins are cleared and dormant DNA codes, endocrine glands, brain, and neurological functions are activated, all of which result in enhanced health and increased potential for demonstrating paranormal abilities.
How about that one? So it's for the reason of demonstrating for increased potential of demonstrating paranormal abilities, right? Coming out of the limitedness and moving into the unlimitedness, right? The clairvoyant, clairaudio, all that. Let's welcome Karen Rose of Oceans. So glad you're here with us, Karen. Yeah, welcome. So, Karen, we're on page 228, starting with the five aspects. We're at aspect number 2.
Thank you, Thomas, but I'm in a place where I don't have my book, but I so wanted to join.
Oh, good.
So I'll be listening and being with everyone. Thank you.
Great. Feel free to take notes and share anything that comes up for you, please. All right. So let's read that one again, Jan. This one's about physical changes. So let's look at that. And yeah, let's read it one more time, please.
physical changes in which toxins are cleared and dormant DNA codes, endocrine glands, brain, and neurological functions are activated, all of which result in enhanced health and increased potential for demonstrating paranormal abilities.
Nice. Yeah. So clearing, anybody can give some examples of clearing on a physical level that could result in potential, yeah, for unlimited potential. What would be an example of clearings, physical clearings? All right, good. Jimmy.
Thank you, Thomas. I just wanted to mention of the enhanced health and the paranormal abilities portion of it and the potential for the paranormal. If we go back to the DNA codes, I go back to the DNA abilities of both my father and my grandfather. And why it's chased me a little bit is that I usually wake up between 3:30 and 4:30 in the morning to make coffee and put everything away from the dishwasher. But I also like to walk the perimeter of the space that I live in, as I'm a watching type person. I've been an observer my entire life. My dad was a third mate on a merchant ship in World War II. My grandfather was a police officer. And somehow in my DNA, I'm supposed to be able to pick up the vibration of someone that is tracking in a positive manner, or maybe off the rails a little bit without going too far. But to ask them the question, how you doing, brother? Of whatever that might be at the time, and open it up. And I could say, it's my grandfather and me again, you know, I'm just going nuts on this stuff or whatever. But whatever it might be for you at the time, and to go into the history of our families in the second one, I think is important, because we inherited their glands, their brain, and neurological functions pretty close across the top head of our brains. I was weird because I was left-handed. I was blonde and blue-eyed. Everybody else wasn't. So, you know, 1952, you thought that was pretty, what do you do? But to study it now makes more sense. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jimmy. So you're walking the beat just like it's in the family. It's like it's in the genes. Hey, Catherine Ann, what's your take on dormant DNA codes? How could they be dormant?
Lots of ways. I think that we have purposely, in various lifetimes, allowed the codes to become dormant. So, because we're either not ready in our spiritual nature to be able to have access to those codes yet. And I know it's kind of like the grid work that I facilitated. I know that grids on the planet were purposefully put to sleep so they wouldn't be misused. And that may apply to the body as well. On some level, our spirit or our higher self may put some of the codes to sleep until we're at a point ready, physically and spiritually, to have what comes along with the activation of those codes, where this is just my perception of it, that we have to be ready for certain codes. And it's like, I just started this 12-strand DNA code course, and most of our, what they consider junk DNA, are really part of our 12-strand DNA. And it opens up our multidimensional self in many ways. And we have to grow into it. You know, you can't do it all at once. You have to be able to take the initiations, because they're all initiations. You have to be able to go at your own pace to allow the activation and the initiations to happen that then expand your experience and awareness so you're able to then go to the next level, if that makes sense.
A nice way to tie it into the initiations, because your DNA is shifting, and that's an initiation, huh, in its own way.
Yeah.
And,
And the whole thing with your 12-strand DNA, every aspect of it is an initiation.
wow.
To bring your DNA online, and as I understand, we're all in the 12-strand DNA thing, but I think originally humans came in with 64 strands of DNA. So,
going back to Jimmy's story about his father and grandfather, is it possible that dormant DNA codes might be that they didn't address certain aspects, and it's come to his generation and he's addressing certain aspects? Would that be like a dormant?
Because, the DNA is passed down the lineage of whatever your ancestors were. So you're not only working with a DNA or initiations in your own individual self, but it also is affecting your whole genetic line. So it's a much more expansive process. And that's why when you start working with your DNA or doing certain kind of healings, people can actually begin to heal their genetic lines.
Wow. How about that? The buck could stop here. we could be the one that opens up a spot that's been closed, it's been hidden, it's been unconscious. And it could be us that releases the family lineage. Yeah.
And it's the same thing, like, I've often said that we're the future selves of those Essenes and Magdalens, but also we keep incarnating back in our genetic lines. So sometimes, we're healing genetic lines that were part of our grandfather or grandmother or great grandmother. We're like the designated one that then comes back in to the genetic codes in physicality that is going to do the work to heal the line.
Wow. So in a way, it's all one.
Yes, of course.
We're healing parts that aren't really old or gone. They're all still there.
Yeah.
Wow. What a trip. Nice. Thank you, Catherine Ann. Anybody else on number 2? Okay, so number 2 was the physical clearing. Number 1 was the attitudinal. And let's look at number 3 now on the emotional. Jan, can you read number 3 for us, please?
Sure. Emotional clearing and greater emotional maturity and stability.
One more time, Jan. Could you read that one more time?
Okay.
Yep.
Emotional clearing and greater emotional maturity and stability.
Yeah.
We're growing up.
Intellect. What do they call it? Intellectual. Wait, what's the word? Emotional intelligence. That's what I'm trying to say. Emotional intelligence. Yeah. So that phrase shows that there's some growth and learning and developing around our emotions. Let's go over to Heather.
So that's what just exactly happened to me today when I was all stressed and exhausted and just about to fall apart. And then all of a sudden, wait a minute, you're an aspect of God. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm fine.
And emotional clearing.
Emotional stability.
Yes. Yes. And every time we do that, Heather, it just adds to our, right? It adds to our being. And we just are getting better all the time. We learn from every experience like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you might not be done as the situation keeps unfolding. You keep going back to the truth of who you are,
Yeah.
even 100 times in a day. We have to.
Yeah.
We can do this. We're going to find out from the reading today. We're not alone. We're
Yeah,
not.
Nick, I keep reminding myself that I am we are infinite beings.
Yeah.
We are infinite beings here in this, having this little experience here. So
Yes.
this is, just it's minor little stuff, but it is stuff we need to go through. And like I said, just choose. I mean, I made a shift in that when I heard that today, that if you're an aspect of God and God's not tired. So
Nice.
you're not, so no, then I've got not so tired.
Yes. Yeah. Let's not play small, like tired, when we're an aspect of God and we don't get tired.
Yeah. Not
Nice.
doing it.
Nice. Good one. All right. Any other comments on 3? Okay, Jan, give us number 4, please.
Changes in self-perception, in which there is a greater sense of divinity, sovereignty, interconnectedness, heightened creativity, and/or superconscious abilities, such as telepathy and clairvoyance.
Mm-hmm. So this one is about self-perception, right? How we look at ourselves. So we're moving out of the not good enough and we're moving clearly into the sense of divinity. Let's not even entertain that old stuff anymore. Let's just go right to our sense of divinity, sovereignty, interconnectedness, heightened creativity, and superconscious abilities. Wow. Any comments on that one? Any examples in our group of superconscious abilities? Hey, welcome Sheldon of North Dakota.
That's funny. I was just thinking about Sheldon that wasn't here, and he just popped in.
You made him pop in. How about that?
I am. I'm a
That-
powerful being.
That's a
Sheldon's here.
super conscious ability.
Yeah.
So Sheldon, you're here because of Heather. And also welcome Maggie of Everywhere and Nowhere. Welcome, Maggie.
Hello, hello. I'm gonna have to drive home now, so sorry about
Okay.
that.
We're going over
Well,
the 5
I'm here.
aspects. 5 aspects of
Oh,
initiation.
perfect.
Okay. So the last one was self-perception, how we look at ourselves. 3rd chakra kind of stuff, right? Self-power, self-esteem, self-worth. Okay. If there isn't any more comments, we'll go to number 5, Jan.
Okay. More identification with the spacious, unified quantum realms instead of only perceiving and reactively dramatizing the limiting transitory idea of being a separate mind located in a separate body.
This is your aspect, Jan. You're good at this stuff, this part.
Do you know what? I was listening to one of the Galactics yesterday, and her name is Kaylin, and Kaylin was talking about disclosure, and I've always associated disclosure with our learning that we're not alone and that there are other civilizations and other galaxies and universes, etc. But she said that disclosure actually is our learning who we really are. And so this to me is describing the disclosure process as we get to know who we really are, and that is actually the ascension process too, as I understand it.
Wow. Jan, I can't believe you said that because there's a movie out right now called Disclosure Day with Steven Spielberg. And the movie makes it look like it's about aliens, okay? It's what you said. It's not about aliens. Trust me, I saw it twice. It's about like who you really are. So basically, the movie's not about aliens. It's about non-duality, the truth of truth coming in, and who's trying to stop it? And the whole shoot 'em upper thing, like there's an enemy trying to stop, the truth. from settling into the planet.
Right.
But it's not, they make it like aliens. I'm like, oh, really? We can do better than that. But you nailed it. It's not, the disclosure day is about who we really are, the truth of our true identity. Cool. I do recommend that movie. I've seen it twice. It was better the second time, guaranteed. Better the second time. All right. Any other comments on number 5? So, Jan, take us on that very last little bit that brings us to the next paragraph, and then we'll stop there.
Okay. Having reviewed these various aspects of initiation, are you seeing any of these initiatory benchmarks showing up in your own life? What are your reactions to your present day transformational initiations?
Yeah. Let's see if there's any sharing about that. Anything come up for anybody in those 5 aspects that they might be going through? They're pretty characterized, right? First one was attitude. Second one is physical changes, emotional clearing, self-perception, and then quantum realms. All right, good. Heather's.
Well, mine was the emotional stability there that
Okay.
happened today. So that was definitely there, definitely that.
Nice. Nice. Had an emotional clearing.
Yeah.
Got clear. Nice. Anybody else before we move on? Okay. Let's go ahead and have Suzanne read for us, if you don't mind. Suzanne, these next bunch of paragraphs are highlighted and very juicy. So we're just going to do one at a time.
Okay, thank you.
Just do one and pause.
Okay. There has been much misunderstanding about the nature of crucifixion and resurrection. However, these are the functional initiations of empowerment that anyone who chooses union in God's experiences. I offer you my perspective in order to bring clarity and motive to more empowering choices. Christ's ascension cannot be understood until the initiation of crucifixion and resurrection are recognized as those transformational events that may be already occurring in your life.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if there's any comments on that paragraph. I'm wondering, Heather, if that's an old hand or is that a new hand?
Oh, that's an old man.
Okay.
That's an old hand. Yeah, fine.
So she makes a distinction between Christ's ascension, crucifixion, and resurrection. We'll look at that more closely too. Let's go over to Catherine Ann.
So, in my workshops and things, I would always help people to understand that we live crucifixion, resurrection, and ascension every single day. Every time you judge yourself or someone else, that's crucifixion. Every time you go within or you stop and you take responsibility and you look at it, and then when you look at it, you're able to change your frequency and rise above it. That's ascension. So we do it throughout our day all the time.
We could bring consciousness to it, right? It happens sometimes unconsciously, but we could bring consciousness and make it even that much more effective.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Thank you, Catherine Ann. Anybody else? All right. Suzanne, why don't you give us the second paragraph, please?
Sure. Have you at one time or another believed that the crucifixion equals suffering? Usually as a way for paying back a debt, original sin, guilt, shame. Do you insist that Yeshua, in order to be Christ, must have suffered and died in order to redeem a fallen world? What feelings come up for you when you contemplate the Son of God suffering on the cross? What if Yeshua did not suffer? What if he did not die? What if his crucifixion was simply a demonstration of how you can align your will with divine will, release all attachments to limited identity, and open the way to being the radiant one you already are, not the false self you think you are, entombed in the material world, but the self who is looking and breathing through the mask of pretense. Woo.
Mhm. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
definitely lots to chew on there.
Yes, there is. Let's see what comments there are, and then we'll probably reread it because there's some really good stuff in here.
Yeah. Well, I would say being raised a Catholic, yes, it was all about the suffering, and it still is to see Jesus on the cross. That still just represents suffering to me. Yeah, it was always reinforced, that whole thing from original sin,
Yeah.
guilt and shame. Those were all very deeply instilled in us.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Suzanne. And Anna is here to set it straight that he did not suffer. And the reason is she is showing us all the initiations he went through to be other dimensionally equipped so that he could move through dimensions, and he didn't have to be the body. He had those characteristics, those um, abilities. She just referred to those abilities to us just now.
Mm-hmm.
Those quantum realm abilities, he had them, right? And so to believe he suffered is absolutely opposite of what the truth is. And she's going to continue sharing with us about that. So you guys, I'm a movie buff, right? And I don't walk out of movies very often, but I walked out of that Mel Gibson movie called The Passion. It was a long time ago. Walked right out of there. I said, this is so wrong. It's a horror movie. He tried to make Yeshua into a horror movie. His blood squirting all over the camera and stuff like that. I was like, this is so wrong. And that's before I knew any of this stuff. It just felt really, really wrong. So people are still glamorizing the suffering and the torture, but the truth is he didn't torture. He didn't suffer. Maybe she's going to clarify that even more as we go. Yeah, good. Let's hear from Christy.
Thomas, I felt the same way. When I walked out of that movie, I was like, this is a horror movie. It's nothing beautiful about Jesus. It was horrifying. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Christy. Yeah. It's really giving the wrong impression. So these Anna books are giving the right impression. It's teaching us how to look at this right. So as we keep going, we're going to keep seeing the truth about what really happened. All right.
I do believe that Catholicism is still hanging on to those old stories.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
There's nothing changing there. I mean, they may update some of their rules, but yeah, those fundamental ones are staying right where they are.
Yeah. Well, a couple more paragraphs down, she's going to correct that Yeshua did not die for our sins. She's going to be really clear about that. So we'll get there in just a couple more minutes. If there isn't any more comments, I'm going to have the next reader start with that paragraph again. So that would be Bonnie. If you don't mind reading that paragraph again and go right into the second one, that'd be awesome. And before you start, Bonnie, let's hear from Karen Grace.
Sorry, guys. I had to go in the back of the book and reread the definitions of the crucifixion and the resurrection.
Good.
Which is, and I know this has been read before, and I think Christy read it. Crucifixion initiation, the rite of passage in which the initiate's separation consciousness is fully acknowledged and its transmutation has begun. And then the resurrection initiation, the rite of passage that fully transmutes separation consciousness and brings about enlightened unity with Creator, Source, and creation, which then brings me to the teacher of righteousness, which is an adept who exemplifies mastery of the physical and subtle planes through the rightful or harmless use of energy. And I just feel that whole separation into using your mind and your heart and energy into the oneness that we think we are, into the oneness of what we really are. So thank you.
Thank you, Karen, for bringing that up. That's so important. A Course in Miracles says there's only one problem and one solution. The only problem is the belief that we're separated from God. And the only solution is the separation never happened. It's that simple. And everything you just read, Karen, supports the separation never happened. Yeah. We're transmuting that belief. Yeah. Yeah. Any comments on what Karen just read? Thank you for going back to the glossary and reading that stuff. It's really good stuff. Any other comments? Okay. All right, Bonnie. Let's do those two together.
Have you, at one time or another, believed that crucifixion equals suffering, usually as a way for paying back a debt, original sin, guilt, shame? Do you insist that Yeshua, in order to be the Christ, must have suffered and died in order to redeem a fallen world? What feelings come up for you when you contemplate the Son of God suffering on the cross? What if Yeshua did not suffer? What if he did not die? What if his crucifixion was simply a demonstration of how you can align your will with divine will, release all attachment to a limited identity, and open the way to being the radiant one you already are? Not the false self you think you are, entombed in the material world, but the divine self who is looking and breathing through the mask of pretense.
Hey, Bonnie, I'm going to ask you to pause a second because something just came up for me on that reread. If we look at that as suffering, which most of the world does, then our belief is suffering is okay and suffering is good. Yeshua did it. Suffering is part of our life. And then we believe it, and then guess what? We experience it. So what we believe comes true. And this is taking a big point and shifting it. If there is no suffering, then we don't have to suffer. Suffering is not like acceptable. But I can just see it on that last paragraph. If we believe it, we are it. We are suffering. But if we don't believe it, we're free. Isn't that what we really want, is to be free of suffering? It's a mental construct. It's a belief. So I think that's what she's doing here. She's bringing up these questions so that we really look at this and say, well, what am I believing? Because it's going to just keep showing up in my life. Oh, that really hit me strong, Bonnie. Before we go on reading, let's hear from Jan, and then we'll continue.
I just wanted to expand on what you're saying, Thomas. What if not just you, but all of humanity realizes that? Mm-hmm. It will totally change life on this planet, 100%.
Yes. And isn't that what Anna is doing?
And it's happening. It's happening, yes. One person at a time.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Anna even said her purpose is to help ascension, help people awaken. That's her purpose. And there it is, right there. She's doing it. Starts with us and it goes out from there. Okay, let's go to some more hands. Let's see what Suzanne has. And then somebody else had their hand up too.
I just want to say thank you, Thomas. That was a great aha. As soon as you spoke those words, it settled where it needed to. Thank you.
Nice, nice. Thank you, Suzanne. Yeah. And we have Maggie wanting to say something while she's driving.
Yes. Hi, you guys. I just think that every single time we make a choice to come from a place of love and not fear, then that changes the minds of
Yeah.
everyone on this planet. And it continues to just ripple out. So every time we make a choice of there's no suffering, this is just an opportunity to see the light, to see the love, to see, have curiosity and get excited about the curiosity that you can shift, which is the resurrection that comes up in each moment that we choose love, not separation, and not to suffer, because it's the construct. It doesn't. We're not suffering. We're making a choice to love and to be curious about it. So thank you.
Thank you, Maggie. What a great point that suffering comes under the category of fear. And Course in Miracles says there's only two emotions, love or fear. And so which one are we going toward? Of course, we're choosing love. And we're noticing fear is not real. We don't have to go there. So suffering is part of fear. That's what I got from your sharing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. All right, let's hear from Jimmy.
Thank you, Thomas. I just wanted to add this small thing because with my near death when I was 6 years old, what I came to find out is that we will never be given a pain that we cannot handle.
Mm-hmm.
And that when that pain begins to be too much, we feel a mental hand on our shoulder that might be connected to our brain and our body, but it tells us to calm down.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no temperature, there is no pain, there is no suffering. What happens is you are in the veil at that point, and there is only love within that. And as I study this particular case, and a few sources have told me to look at right now what's going on with, the science of quantum mechanics and chaos theory together, of what I see in the world, I can sometimes get myself all spooled up on the wrong stuff and think that the right stuff is that the entire world is experiencing the butterfly effect all around us at all times. And it's how we impact that love that is all around us at all times that really keeps me going and keeps me charged up for this. But I wanted to just let you know that it's not going to hurt when we get there. It's going to be a good deal.
Nice. Thank you, Jimmy. Especially like the part about the hand on your shoulder, because we're going to see later on today's reading that we're not alone. Okay, we're not alone. There's a hand on our shoulder. Yeah, let's welcome Winnie of the airwaves. Glad to have you here with us today. Nice. Yeah. And we're going to go back to reading in a second here, but I heard that Heather's going to be leaving us at 1 o'clock. And Heather, I really want to thank you for starting us off today with some really emotional and impactful share that really set the tone for today.
Yeah, good thing. And it was perfect. But actually, I'm extremely frustrated because the appointment I'm supposed to go to, I needed to get some information before to be there at 1, and I don't have it, so I'm not leaving. So,
okay.
And I just sent them an email saying I am beyond frustrated. Anyway, okay, so I'll still be here for a while. But thanks. Anyway. Yeah, it was a big aha moment there today.
You sent them an email saying you're working with who you truly are again and started over again.
I said I don't even know what to say, and I'm beyond frustrated.
I'm frustrated. I forgot who I was.
Yeah.
Stuff doesn't.
But I can laugh about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's going to come through when it's supposed to come through, so it's okay.
Perfect. All right. Let's go back to if there isn't any more comments. Okay, let's get Winnie on our page number. I'm doing Kindle. So let's see here.
Page 230.
Thank you.
Page 274 in the old book.
Perfect. We just did the 5 aspects of initiation, Winnie, and now she's clarifying and speaking about suffering, how it's not possible, unless, of course, you choose it, and then it's your choice. But she's speaking that Yeshua did not suffer because he had initiations and he had abilities in the quantum realm that allowed him to move past that, not to suffer. So now you're coming in on a paragraph that Bonnie's going to read for us, and this is her second paragraph. So let's take it away, Bonnie.
Are you ready to take Jesus and yourself off the cross of endless suffering? Are you ready to shift your focus into resurrecting your consciousness into enlightened states of happiness, joy, and bliss? Instead of justifying why you feel betrayed, abandoned, trapped, helpless, and hopeless, are you ready to take back your power instead of blindly giving it to mediating priesthoods, saints, teachers, or unquestioned limiting beliefs? When is it time to allow growth and expansion of your inner authority and divinity? Are you willing to fly free of self-imposed prisons that were the structures and teachers that once served you? If your answer to this provocative question is yes, then I genuinely celebrate with you.
Nice.
And I've been experiencing some of this happening in my life, and I'm just so grateful for the ease with which what I'm experiencing is happening. So thank you for letting me read this.
Yeah. So you're noticing an ease. Maybe it's different than it used to be. You're feeling more easy about it.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I've shifted several times from readings in the Age of the Heart, and it's making a big difference in my relaxation. I was able a few weeks ago to permit myself to be happy. And all of this without any suffering, just acknowledgement of this awareness coming, and I'm so grateful for the awareness.
Nice. Yeah, that's really great. Thank you, Bonnie. So we're all growing and learning about the truth of who we are, standing more firmly in that all the time. Yeah. Sweet. Thank you. All right, I'm going to reread a sentence. I should ask first if anybody wants to reread a sentence that they have underlined on that last paragraph, especially. Someone has the same one I have underlined. Don't be shy. Okay, here it is. Are you ready to take back your power instead of blindly giving it to mediating priesthoods, saints? You might add gurus in there, teachers, or how about this one? Unquestioned limiting beliefs. How about that one? If they're not questioned, they're going to run the show. You question them, and they're not true. That's the question that Byron Katie asked. Is it true? And it's always like, no, it's not true. Her second question, is it absolutely true? No. And now we get to release ourselves from the belief that something should be different for me to be happy. So there you go. Unquestioned limited beliefs. I love it. Any comments? Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Bonnie, for your reading. And let's go on over to Jimmy to read for us. Let's just do one at a time and we'll pause between them.
Thank you, Thomas. Once you understand that Yeshua learned from his youth how to pass through crucifixion, dying to limitation, and resurrection, aligning with eternal life and original innocence, you can begin to allow for the possibility that he did not suffer to pay any form of debt. As you recall what I have shared with you about the rite of sepulchre, you can also begin to understand that he did not die, even though all of his vital signs had ceased to support his physical body for a time.
Mm-hmm. Let's pause there. His vital signs ceased to support his physical body for a time. What does that sound like to you?
Thomas, as we go into this,
Yeah.
and if you've had an out-of-body experience, you've seen your body laying there before.
Yeah.
And in my dream life, I've been able to duplicate portions of that again, but never the exact moment for me.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I can do the room, I can do the scene, but I can't hear words. I'm looking at actions only. So I think the physical body for a time, yeah, that's just it. The reverence that gets paid. I happen to think that I just had a surgical procedure not long ago, and I just felt a huge presence of angels around this whole hospital I was in. And it was like I was able to sense more of the people that were not in the room with me than that were in the room with me at the time. And I thought, a little of the Anna book must be working really hard for me today. And I want to thank you for that. Please.
That was one of those aspects of one of the moving into the realm of the quantum field. You're getting more and more of the paranormal abilities, she called it. Nice. Seeing entities in the room, seeing other energies in the room. Wow.
And Thomas, they come subtlety. They're in our dreams. They're in our peripheral vision. We can't make them happen. That's the greatest part. If you decide you want this to happen to you, it never does. But the butterflies are flying around you for the effect. And if we if we associate ourselves with the words, the language that support what we're reading and believing in, it happens so much easier.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We can rise above the laws of man because we can. She's giving us permission to. And NDEs are really pretty common these days. And we're hearing from people with some really valuable information for us to hear. And they're moving out of their body for a time and coming back with messages. It's all very helpful. So
it's not magic.
Yeah, it's really real stuff. Yeah. We just got through following this guy. We're still following him, Jonathan Ashford. And he's been teaching around Sedona. And we also do his YouTubes and stuff. So he's an NDE guy that's got a lot to say, and he's a powerful guy. Okay, let's go back and see what else, any comments on that paragraph that Jimmy just read. Hey, Jimmy, give us those, in parentheses, those are like definitions. Give us the definition of those crucifixion and resurrection.
And Thomas, what should I start with?
Well, it says the crucifixion is what is it? What is crucifixion?
Once you pass through crucifixion, dying to limitation. Like so I didn't understand dying to limitation.
Okay.
But I think it might just be the threshold, just like they talk about when you're ready to surrender yourself.
Well, I think she's saying this is the symbolic value of crucifixion. You're actually dying to limitation, or you could say separation. You're dying to it, so that it's not a bad thing. We're not trying to stop it. We're allowing it. We're seeing as a symbol how it's valuable. So it's dying to limitation. Okay, Jimmy, give us the next one. What's the definition of resurrection? In parentheses.
And then, and I'm sorry, I'm not picking up on it.
So resurrection, she has those parentheses.
Yes,
it's her little definition of resurrection. Another way of looking at resurrection.
The aligning with eternal life and original innocence.
Bingo. That's real resurrection. right? Aligning with eternal life, which is a perception shift, and original innocence. Isn't that awesome? That's resurrection energy. And we can experience that all the time.
I've been picking up more and more information recently to wake up like a child with childlike thoughts
That's
to myself.
resurrection.
And yeah, to be born again with that, to the fresh set of eyes with which to look at love within the world that isn't always love around us if we look at external forces, but if we stay internal, it's a whole different world that we're living in every day, and it's much more beautiful in that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way of putting this out, is that if there's not beauty within your world, we're not tuned into that essence, that vibration, that harmony, that feeling. And to continue to look for it. And if it's not in humans, we can find it in plants and life and design, structure, in completing our task for the day. And our task might be to meet that person that needs the message that we might have gotten that they might not have. And I think that's really important too.
Nice. Thank you, Jimmy. Yeah, she's training us, I think, to see everything in symbols, so that we could find a value in it. So crucifixion is not a negative thing. It's a dying to old beliefs, limitations. Yeah, the Course in Miracles says that everything is a symbol. Everything is a symbol. And then words are symbols of symbols. Amazing. So yeah, we love that book as our foundation here. Well, if there isn't any more comments on that paragraph, we're going to have Jimmy read the second paragraph.
Thank you, Ian Thomas.
Okay.
Having mastered the physical and subtle realms throughout his life, Yeshua did not suffer in the gruesome way you may have been taught, or that some subconscious part of you may insist that he did. He did not die for your sins. He lived to model love and forgiveness so that you could choose to live by the same qualities he demonstrated. I encourage you to let go of the idea that transformation, change, and detaching from the nails of limitation or crucifixion has to be a hard struggle, full of tragic drama and fraught with suffering. As you allow your separated consciousness to die into the unity consciousness, you may pass much more easily through your crucifixion initiation into resurrecting and ascending yourself as a living Christ. Jeepers. I was hoping when I read this earlier that I wasn't going to read this. Now I'm really happy that I did read this, Thomas. This one is going to require some added study on me for the week. But I want the coherency dynamics, to come into me as I read these really well-placed words slowly. The tragic drama and fraught with suffering. I don't need that. It's not there for me.
Yep. We can choose differently. Thank you, Jimmy. Let's go over to Winnie, and then we'll go back and look at this paragraph again. That darn mute button. Huh. Darn.
Yes. Okay.
There you go.
Okay, thank you. I just love that word symbol, getting back a moment or two ago, because to me it appears as if, for lack of better words, because there's lots of ways you could say it. That's why it's a symbol. It's not the essence of the truth. It's just a symbol or a word about the truth. And for me, this whole life, this appearance of this life, not my true eternal life, but this whole appearance of this life, including the body that we've heard before as a communication device or tool. It's just so beautiful, because to me it fits perfectly with why the energetic workings that we all do and that changed my life is able to work. Because there's not a physical, there's not a limitation. So if I'm going closer to the truth, a little bit under the symbol, maybe a little bit less removed symbol to the truth, closer to the truth, that's where I get into playing with pure consciousness and pure energy. And it's there that you make the changes that ripple through the body and the brain and everything. So to me, I just love this whole symbolism thing because it fits to me that everything is a symbol here, including my identity. So, and when I'm able to work a little closer to the truth, I can go, somebody's trying to call. Anyway, when I'm able to work closer to the truth, no wonder that's so powerful. And so I just love it. It fits for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Winnie. Yeah, when you were speaking, there's a picture of true liberation. When we come into total consciousness, that's such a freedom. Yeah, nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Winnie. Let's go on over to Catherine Ann.
So, with Jimmy mentioning coherence, it reminded me, Anna turned to us and was explaining that Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, meaning Mary of Bethany, during the whole crucifixion, never lost their focus. They never lost their coherence for even a second. So that's how come they didn't experience suffering or any of that. They were in total union, and everybody else lost it. Some people have lost it for lifetimes. They're still dealing with that trauma. Some people only momentarily lost it. And then the ones that were trained were able to recover themselves. But it's just really was an amazing point of understanding that they never lost their coherence and their unity. So that's why they could go through the whole crucifixion and ascension process in total bliss.
And so tell us again, so the reason why they didn't collapse into the horror of it is because they had a vision of the unity, or what it was really about?
Yeah, they had a total multi-dimensional experience of coherence that they never strayed from during the whole event.
Yes, they had the big picture, like the coherence. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back over to Jimmy.
Thomas, thank you. And Catherine Ann, thank you. I remember reading a passage maybe a little further along the road or behind down when we're at right now, with how when the Essenes traveled, when this group traveled, that Yeshua and Mary were the picture of that calmness that you just described. And that went to the others around them and to the people around them. And that the confrontation and the struggle of those that are going to be coming further down the road into this picture was a part of their not seeing, not possessing love, not seeing it happen right in front of their eyes. That is so true when you're pure of nature. And that's exactly what they were. That's exactly what they did. The least able, the youngest, the most troubled, the most difficult, they went to first. And that alone gave them credibility to look the soldiers and the unbelievers, or the ones that were not within the tune or the harmony. This is Catherine Ann, thank you. That's it. When they were traveling, I'm starting to get that language within my last 30 days of reading this book, all coming together right now. And I love it. Thank you, Catherine Ann. That's really, really good.
Nice. Nice. All right. Any other comments? Let's see if maybe our next reader can read the italics. It's just 2 sentences. Let's see if Maggie is settled. Do you have your page number and stuff? Or do you need page number? you're muted, so I'm having a hard time reading those lips.
Sorry. Yeah, just grab my folder, put on my iPad, and I'm going to take a breath. I've got my book, but I do need a page number, please.
Okay. Can somebody give
2:30 still? 2:30.
2:30. Now I'm going to breathe.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So, Jimmy, you just read that section. Will you reread the italics? Just those two sentences. And notice the last word you're going to read, Jimmy, is demonstrated. It had to do with a little bit about your share.
Thank you, Thomas.
Okay.
He lived to model love and forgiveness so that you could choose to live by the same qualities that he demonstrated.
Yes. Yes. He lived to model love and forgiveness so that you could choose to live by the same qualities he demonstrated. So he was the example. Like you were saying, the women that didn't fall apart was an example of life. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's such a simple phrase. And it would also refer to me to where if I wasn't feeling that, where to go for help, where to look inside of me, like what was I not seeing properly? Was I judgmental?
Mm-hmm.
Was I jumping to a conclusion? Or was I missing a part of my gratefulness for the day? Was there a sense that I wasn't possessing at the time? And I think we all feel that we're very confident in what we have until we don't. And when we don't, we need to be gracious and we need to be understanding, like maybe today I'm not getting this, or maybe something's blocking my way. Can you tell me what I'm not seeing? That sort of feeling inside of me.
Yes, definitely. That's the clearing that we talked about earlier, right? Going inside and saying, what's blocking me? How can I be clear? Okay, let's do this. Let's have Winnie. So I was going to have you read the next paragraph. It starts off, you may well ask. But if you can go up one sentence, one long sentence, and start from as you allow and take it through that next paragraph.
All righty, thank you.
Yeah.
As you allow your separated consciousness, wait, let me start again. As you allow your separated consciousness to die into unity consciousness, you may pass much more easily through your crucifixion initiation into resurrecting and ascending yourself as a living Christ. You may well ask, why did Yeshua and his close male and female disciples travel long distances to the mystery schools of Palestine, Egypt, and India in order to participate in arduous initiatory experiences? My experience was that the mystery schools and being in cloistered community provided the necessary support my peers and I required so that we could embody immortality and ascension while living in a disbelieving, dense outer world that was fixated on fear, mortality, suffering, and separation. Just as it was important for us to feel supported in our process of ascending our consciousness, so it is likewise important for you to gather the tangible, harmonious support of friends and family who encourage your spiritual growth.
Let's pause there. See what comes up. What's that little smile about?
Oh, which always makes me happy. All of it. And I think the line about immortality mm, is something that was indirectly coming up for me 20, 30 years ago, maybe 40, but something like that. I could sense that there was a time where, mm, mm, and there were other combinations to heal, but for that time, it got my attention that I could tell that if you put a gun to my head, I would not have fear. And I didn't know why, but there was this sense in me, and that was my way to describe it to myself. I don't think I told anybody else necessarily, but I could tell something was shifting in me, that something was missing from how I had previously experienced trying to protect the body as if it was my one life. So I that like got my attention because I'm like, oh, that's not a good sign.
Mhm.
But over time and years, it's just so beautiful because I do have the sense, as much as I'm able right now, of the eternal life and the truth of the eternal life, and even things and people I've been before, but that sense of immortality, which just shifts everything. And so I just love immortality because it feels so much more real and accepted and grounded, so to speak. I don't know if you ground it, but grounded into my living experience now. So anyway, I love those words and
Yeah.
references to eternal life because that feels right.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
love that. Now, thank you for expounding on that word, immortality. It means there's no death, right? There is no death. There's not death. And so isn't that fun? If there isn't death, what's there to be afraid of? I love that it described our world, our dense outer world. It says was, so let's believe it's in the past, was fixated on fear, mortality, suffering, and separation. Let's take that in the past tense. It used to be. It's not anymore because I'm looking at it differently.
Mm,
Yeah. So the world had to shift. It can't be the same. I'm not looking at it the same.
that's right.
Let's see if there's any more comments. Winnie, keep unmuted. I'm going to have you reread it again, but let's see if there's any comments first. Also, if anybody wants to read that's not on video, just put your video on. That's all. No, you don't have to. I'm just saying if you want to read, put your video on and I will call on you to read. All right. If there's no comments, we're going to have Winnie read the exact same thing again from the same place.
All righty. Was that as you allow?
Yes.
Okay, great. As you allow your separated consciousness to die into unity consciousness, you may pass much more easily through your crucifixion initiation into resurrecting and ascending yourself as a living Christ. You may well ask, why did Yeshua and his close male and female disciples travel long distances to the mystery schools of Palestine, Egypt, and India in order to participate in arduous initiatory experiences? My experience was that the mystery schools and being in cloistered community provided the necessary support my peers and I required so that we could embody immortality and ascension while living in a disbelieving, dense outer world that was focused, that was fixated on fear, mortality, suffering, and separation. Just as it was important for us to feel supported in our process of ascending our consciousness, so it is likewise important for you to gather the tangible, harmonious support of friends and family who encourage your spiritual growth.
Nice. Nice. Really well read. Thank you. Yeah. Any comments before we go on? Okay. Maggie, are you ready to read for us, or how you feeling? Okay, just go ahead and let's just do one paragraph and pause.
Yes, thank you all for traveling the journey with me. And I'm ready, and I will read slowly. Perhaps as you have read about Yahshua and my family's extraordinary spiritual abilities and experiences in my story, you have felt as though you could never accomplish what we did because you were more special, genetically endowed, and more deserving than we are. However, if you distance us from yourself by thinking you are less or unworthy, you cannot bring our example and message of hope into your life. The truth is that the truth is that all of life is equally endowed, even through external appearances seem to indicate otherwise. The truth is that all of life is equally endowed, even through external appearance, even though external experiences external appearances seem to indicate otherwise. I can do that again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
let's do it again.
yeah. The truth is that all of life is equally endowed, even though external appearances seem to indicate otherwise.
Yeah. So even if it looks like people are different and some
They're
maybe
not.
don't have they somewhere in there it's all equal. Everyone is endowed equally, even though it looks like it's not like that. That's the truth of how it is. How about Maggie, go up from that sentence that you read, go up one more sentence. However. Yeah, go ahead and read that one.
Okay. However, if you distance us from yourself by thinking you are less or unworthy, you cannot bring our example and message of hope into your life.
See, there you go. If we go with the belief that we're not them, we don't have that abilities, we're unworthy, then guess what? We are, or at least it seems that way.
Yeah, the choice again.
It's our choice. We say, oh no, I can't possibly do that. And then that becomes our truth. So it says if you distance us from yourself by thinking you're less or unworthy, you cannot bring our example and message of hope into your life. It's like you're blocking it. Your belief in unworthy is blocking it.
And we all know better.
Yeah.
So we do better.
we're all learning, getting closer all the time.
Yeah.
Well, we're out of time unless there's any burning shares. Yeah. Let's go ahead. Yeah, let's hear from Jimmy, and then we'll turn to Catherine Ann for a departing attunement.
I hope this is a unasked question. I bothered Maggie about this for 6 months. Are there any records of mystery school teachings, like yearbooks, pictures of people, things that they did?
That's
go
what
to
we're
dances?
doing.
I want songs. I want what they dance to. I don't know, but do we have any records of the mystery schools and what may have been possessed? And that's a Catherine Ann question, I'm sure, but that was just a dumb one of mine. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Catherine Ann.
To answer the question, we have the Dead Sea Scrolls now that were, and more things are being discovered. And I think that a lot of the the direct teachings and the direct writings of these characters are yet to be discovered. And, you know, you have to realize it's in a different language and a different culture than we have today.
Thank you, Catherine. And I know that we are just seeing some new elements of the Dead Sea Scrolls coming out of Egypt right now. So this could be an exciting time for the decipherers of that to come forth, because if we could somehow, it would just be amazing. Just be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. But where am I going to go with this? This is part of the attunement that wants to come through at the moment, that all of that knowledge and frequency and is totally within us, because the entire universe is within us, including all of the players, all of the history. So it's like, as you discover and uncover and question within yourself, it draws magnetically, it begins to draw the verification or the answers to come forward, because it's always an inside job. If that makes sense.
Catherine, and it does. And I love that for so many different reasons. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear, number one. But number two is that it's all around us all the time, and that we don't realize it. It's like the vision of a cat that's looking at nothing. No, we can't see what they see at the time. And to be around that, and you know, I'm looking for that voice inside my head that's whispering to me, that was identified by saying to me that I can't do this anymore on certain parts of my life. And then I have to find out what I can do. And I love hearing that. Thank you. That's good to know. I have much to study. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So again, center in your heart and center on your own I am presence, which is almost like, if not like, 0 point for all cells, all aspects of DNA, all parts of your body. The universe is within you, as is the resurrected aspect of you, your ascended body, your Christed body, your angelic aspect, your the different levels that they talk about in India. They're all part of your fabric, and you can move into experiencing more and more of direct, contact and experience and communication with these aspects of yourself. And just by knowing you're there, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have access fully yet, because that's the initiation process. But it's to know that nothing exists outside of you, and that all aspects and answers and whatever the path is going to be for you is already within you. So give gratitude, and give gratitude to all of the beings and the councils of light and the characters that are all also within you. So be it.
Oh, thank you, Catherine Ann. That was lovely. And as we're growing and learning and growing together, we're supporting each other. We are the cloistered community on a Zoom group. How fun. Thank you, everybody, for your supporting me and our supporting each other, and that we're growing together. What a lovely experience this is. I love you
Thank you,
guys.
Thomas, and thank you all.
Thank you all.
See you, Sheldon.
That was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Blessings, everyone. See you next week.
See you next week.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.